In just a few days, I'll be getting a new Ford F-150 Lightning Lariat, but while I'm waiting, my local dealership loaned me this Base Pro model until my truck gets here. And it's been really fun to test out the Base Pro model and see what it's like. And I'm also looking forward to comparing it to my new Lariat when it gets here. Well, in the meantime, I've been trying to make some videos of the Base Pro model. And in my last video, I talked about 5 things that I really like about the Base Pro. In today's video, I want to talk about 5 things that I'm not as crazy about. The first thing I'm not real crazy about on this Lightning Pro, and this will be consistent among all Lightnings, is the rake on the truck, which is pretty dramatic. You can see that the rear of the truck is sitting up pretty tall compared to the front that's down further. It's especially pronounced if you look at this gap here from the wheel well to the tire at the rear versus at the front. Now this can be corrected with a leveling kit, obviously, and the reason Ford is doing this is because if you're towing or if you've got a lot of cargo in the bed, you don't want the truck to be sagging down. So they're doing it for a purpose. I just don't like the way it looks. Another thing I'm not real crazy about on the Lightning Pro, and this will be consistent across the lineup, is that it doesn't have a very good breakover angle because of the ground clearance here in the middle, and that's due to the battery pack. The ground clearance is actually pretty comparable between the Lightning and your standard F-150, but that's at the axle. Here in the middle, because of the battery pack, it's going to affect that breakover angle pretty significantly. And so if you're doing any sort of mild off-roading, this could be a problem in terms of scraping. Now on the plus side, there are skid plates along the whole length of the truck that's going to protect that battery pack, but at the same time, I'd say that there's a pretty high probability that you're going to scrape if you got anything that's at all technical. I was on a very gentle off-road section just the other day and went over a rock that was no more than about 6 inches tall and was scraping because of that breakover angle. So that will be a challenge for those of you that are planning on doing more of that overlanding or off-roading. This next one's a little bit tricky to explain, but I feel like Ford F-150s have been one of the nicest full-size truck interiors in class for quite a while now. And I feel like they're starting to lose their edge in terms of just the overall design. In terms of just the look and layout of this interior, I feel like it's not all that imaginative. I feel like the new Tundra has a much nicer interior. I think the Ram 1500's got a nicer interior. And I think that the new Silverado and Sierras also have a nice interior. So I feel like Ford is losing their edge from that standpoint. Not to say that this interior isn't amazing for a base work truck. From that standpoint, it is loaded with features. This 15-inch screen is crazy for a basic work truck. I think that they've got some really nice accent touches in here as well in terms of the materials and the colors. I just feel like big picture on the F-150 that the interior design is just a little bit dull, and I wish that they would do a little bit more to add a little bit of excitement or creativity to the overall design. Many of these Base Pro models of the Lightning are likely to be work trucks, and they're going to be used for a lot of heavy hauling. And with that, tow capacity is going to be key. Now, the Lightning is available with 2 different battery packs, either a 98 kilowatt hour or 131 kilowatt hour. With the 98, you're getting a tow capacity of 7,700 pounds, and with the 131, that tow capacity jumps up to 10,000 pounds. So it's very capable in terms of tow capacity. The problem, though, is that real-world testing is showing that when towing, range diminishes significantly, as much as maybe 50%. So you're looking at a range of either 230 or 320, depending on the battery pack. In EPA testing, real-world testing is likely showing that a little bit less as well. You cut that in half, you're looking at either 115 or 160 miles of total range when towing. That could be very problematic for many buyers. Another thing I'm not too crazy about on the Lightning is the information provided in terms of your current charge status, or if you're plugged in and charging, what's actually going on, and when you're driving, information in terms of what's being consumed and regenerated. There's actually no indication when you're plugged in of what kind of rate you're charging at, how quickly it's going to be recharged, and then likewise when you're driving, it gives you the percentage of the battery pack, and it tells you what your total range is, but that's pretty much it. It's not telling you what kind of consumption you're getting with various features. If you turn off the air conditioning or heat, it doesn't adjust the numbers accordingly. So it's just a little bit hard to kind of monitor that charge status, whether you're driving, recharging, or have just finished a trip. Now on this 5th item, I'm really stretching because I told you guys that I was going to give you 5 things that I don't like about the Lightning. The reality is that that's hard to do because this truck offers a lot to really love, especially for being a basic work truck that comes in at a very competitive price point. But since I told you that I was going to give you 5, I'm going to give you 5, and that's this Faux Grill right here. On each of the 4 trim levels of the Lightning, this Faux Grill looks a little bit different, gets progressively nicer as you go through those trim packages. And I feel like they should have just used the same grill that you get on the XLT or the Lariat. I can't imagine that the cost of this plastic as opposed to the plastic that you get on, say, the XLT is really all that significant. Obviously they're doing it because they've got to differentiate those different trim packages, but for a truck that otherwise has a lot of really nice high-end features that make it not really look like a basic work truck, the headlights, the LED strip here on the side, the wheel package, the tail lights, just go ahead and throw in a little bit nicer looking grill and the work truck is going to look even more premium than it already does. So that's 5 things I don't really like about the base Pro model of the Ford F-150 Lightning, but I've got to say there's a lot more to like about this truck than to dislike. Overall, I think it's an excellent vehicle and it has a lot to offer, especially at this price point. If you guys enjoyed today's video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and for more videos of the all-new Ford F-150 Lightning, be sure to subscribe. In the meantime, thanks for watching.